kicking it, yeah we kicking it. When we come to play, yeah we winning it. We are here to stay, bringing our grit. We so sick with it, we just kicking it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I know it's been a minute. It's been 2 weeks, I think. Yeah, and that's totally on me. One, as I was shooting the next episode, I went to check how much time I was at and realized, oh, I wasn't recording at all. And not gonna lie, it kind of got me pretty defeated. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna wait another day and like put it out the next week, like same week, probably like Tuesday. Life happens, guys, and yeah, I just kind of never got to it. So that episode, I will actually be. It has to do with fatherhood, so I'm actually gonna put that episode and the last episode together. So I'm gonna work on putting that together. But how you guys been? When you guys will be seeing this, it'll be the week of Christmas. I hope you guys have been doing better than me at buying Christmas gifts, because I bought one gift, guys. One. And it's like the most important gift, so I'm not really mad about it, but yeah. And then after like what I went through last year for Christmas, like it's kind of really not got me in the Christmas spirit. Yeah. So, but you know, we back. We're gonna keep that consistency going. No matter what the numbers are looking like. Those of you who actually watch the videos all the way through, or you know, on Spotify, you listen. You know, greatly appreciate you. As you know, we're wrapping up 2025, going into 2026. Actually, are working on getting some guests on the show. So, you know, gonna look out for that. And I don't know if you guys can tell, I've got like some lighting going on in here. You know, I got a light strip, so I'm like, oh, let me see how that looks. Got the flash on the phone. So drop down in the comments, like, what do you think? You know, do we like the purple? Do we want to go with a different color? You know, guys, you got to also be aware. I'm dark, and behind me is kind of dark. But yeah, I kind of think it's a vibe, low key. Also, if you look over my left shoulder, you'll obviously see the one award that I've had up there. But I put another one up from my new job. So, you know, I'm trying to decorate my apartment more. But yeah, I'm doing a little bit too much yapping. I'm gonna take a drink and then we'll get it cracking. So, last episode we talked about, you know, men aren't really per se cold. You know, a lot of times we're just hurt. Today's episode we're talking about, you know, being man enough and redefining masculinity. So, without further ado, you already know what it is. My name is CJ. I'll be your host tonight. Today we're going to unpack the question and how we redefine masculinity on our own terms. So in segment one, the box men are put in. You know, from boys we're taught, be a man, you know, don't cry, you don't need help. Why are you asking for a hug? You know, you got to be tough. You got to be all hard and, you know, be in control. But a lot of times, life is, you know, you're not in control of everything. Like, in control of where you work, where you live, who you're dating, who, you know, there's things you're in control of. But there's certain things like masculinity, you know, becomes a performance and built on, you know, one built on silence, pressure, and perfection. You know, and something I struggled with a long time, and kind of now, not as much now, is that last part, is that perfection part. But yeah, so like I'm the youngest, so a lot of times it's, oh, you know, you have to I always felt the pressure of like having to be perfect. Which, you know, that kind of stuff, that's tough. Again, like when you don't, know what to do in that situation. Like, why are you putting the pressure on me at the age of, whatever, as a kid to be perfect, and then as an adult, it's the same thing. And like, it becomes a performance. So in school, it's, you're putting on a performance for the teachers, and, you could have stuff going on at home, but once you get to school, it's lights, camera, action, and you gotta put on the show and be like, okay, yeah, I'm all right, but deep down, like, I could use a hug, but now, how do I, ask for that? Then kind of goes on to being an adult. It's like putting on a show. So like for me, like, I've mentioned this before, like this time of year is really rough for a multitude of reasons. So there's times where I'm, going through some stuff and I could really use a hug, but it's one, who do I ask? Like I have people who I can ask, but it's, a lot of times I got to figure it out. And I don't know how to figure it out sometimes. Or like that, like who do I ask for help to figure it out, figure this thing out? Like, yeah, I'm almost 30, but it's some stuff I don't know how to do. And who do I ask for that kind of help? And then a lot of, again, like that pressure for men to where it's, oh, you got to provide, you got to do this, this, and this, especially like if you look at your life. So for a lot of men who are in relationships, obviously, as where the times are now, is a lot of times a lot of relationships are 50-50 financially, but a lot of them still can be, oh, you have to provide, emotional support for your partner, and then you have to do all these kind of things, but it's, and you can't mess up. Like, you can't say, oh, hey, I'm tired. Now, for some people, it's nice where you can be, hey, I'm tired, like, my emotional cup is full, like, I can't do that right now. And, having that kind of partner where it's, hey, I'm not doing so hot. They can then kind of lift up the emotional, need of help. But even in those moments, it's still like in the back of your mind, you got to be a man. Suck it up. Suck it up. You don't need to do this, and this. Which I think is crazy, especially for a lot of us who, we suffer from depression or mental health illness. And I've always told people, especially working in like corporate America or retail or wherever, if you have the time to take off, take a day. Don't be Superman all the time. Like, it's all right to and breathe, take the day and relax. For some of us, it looks different. Like for me, it's sometimes I literally am still training myself to relax. That's one thing, I've always had as a kid is I got to keep going, or I'm a hustler. So, anyone who knows me, especially last month or so, I've been doing DoorDash and Uber Eats. I literally will work 40 hours a week, plus a little bit of OT when I can, and we'll DoorDash at night or on weekends. And I think it's now finally catching up to me. So earlier this year when I was working at the hospital, I had a bone spur on my ankle. And if I find the picture of the X-ray or whatever, and like you can see like a little bone, and it's like, oh, got to switch shoes. So I'm wearing non-slip shoes. I never really got the shoes I think I was supposed to get, but now I'm having the same pain in the same ankle, but it's more in my Achilles area, or like most times it's in the back, so it's near my Achilles, but sometimes it'll like wrap around to the front, which is kind of annoying. But it's, that pressure of now it's, oh shit, it's Christmas and I got to get this, and this. And my therapist was like, why do you feel the need to buy all these gifts? And I'm like, well, it's Christmas, And she just looked at me like, yeah, but you're going to run yourself into the ground. So, yeah, I kind of took this weekend. Friday, I did a little bit, but I was in so much pain. I was like, nope. I went and got food. I got Raisin Canes because they brought one in Grand Rapids. Still very mid. And I sat at my parents' house for the day. And then the day of me shooting this, I went and got groceries with my mom. Kind of an early Christmas present. She bought me groceries. So, yeah, that's cool. But, it's taking that time to relax and, kind of doing a little bit of housework around the crib, like clean my kitchen. I'm going to clean my bathroom. You don't just smell my apartment, though. It smells phenomenal. Shout out to Bath & Body Works for the wallflowers. Love those. I have so many candles that I bought before I moved, so I'll be burning those too. But yeah. What happens when you don't fit that box? When you feel too soft, too emotional, too unsure? You're human. Like, you don't have to be I think of it like this. Like, you don't have to be the Thing from the Fantastic Four all the time. Like, you can be Ben from, before it becomes a thing. You don't have to be all like standoffish. Like, you can be a little bit of soft. Like, you can be human. Like, you can let your emotions not take over, but you can actually go through life and have emotions, guys. Like, that's a good thing. But some people some men will still question, start questioning their worth, not just as a person, but as a man. Which I've done that in the last year or so. Like, I've questioned, losing my job at the bank. This time last year, I was working at the bank making $23.50 an hour. Life was pretty sweet. Like, I was still on track to get an apartment this year, but I don't think I would be struggling as much. Like, when you're seeing a check that's like on average $1,500, so now you're seeing checks that are $1,100. Yeah, cool. Like, I'm still working, and I'm extremely grateful from where I was in January to where I'll be January. You know what I mean? But I questioned a lot of my purpose because it wasn't working. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do that. I couldn't, But after a lot of sitting down and, praying and talking in counsel, I'm still working on it. And I'm not upset to say, like, hey, I don't have it all figured out. Unlearning to reclaim the truth that the truth that version of manhood was never real. It was inherited, projected, and pressured. Like a lot of us have older fathers who have fathers who were hard on them. Like, for example, for like my dad, his dad was in the military. My dad is one of 11, by the way. Craziest stuff. Like, one of 11 is crazy, but you know, like in those times, it's. He was telling me how, you know, as a kid, one year for Christmas, my grandpa gave him $5 and was like, "Go get a couple packs of smokes for Christmas, bro." What? Like, that's so crazy to me. But yeah, like being a man doesn't mean you're fearless. Doesn't mean you won't. Doesn't mean you never fall apart. Doesn't mean domination over your emotions. It means responsibility, integrity, vulnerability, and growth. I can tell you right now, sitting here at 28, I'm not the same person I was at 27, not the same person I was at 26, damn sure not the same person I was at 21. Because I've had to go through the ups and the downs and all of those trials and tribulations of my life to get to where I am now. I tell people all the time, I worked at the hospital. This is my second time working at the hospital. You know, I worked there during the pandemic, bro. Like, I worked there during that global pandemic. Everyone had to grow up fast. So I had to grow up fast. I had to do all these things. But I wasn't vulnerable like I was, but with certain situations. I wasn't as vulnerable then as I am now. And it kind of ruined some stuff for me then, to be honest with you. Like, stuff happens for a reason. Like, it is what it is. But yeah, I grew a lot. I grew a lot spiritually too. Like, just the older I've gotten, the more those things, like the integrity, responsibility, integrity, vulnerability, and growth. Especially, you know, again, I'm a father also, guys. Like, I gotta have integrity because I gotta show, you know, my kids what a good man looks like. I gotta be that role model for my son. Like, all right, cool. Dad was always there. Dad was a stand-up dude. Like, and for me, like, I really never had that stand-up dude in the house. Like, yes, my dad, like, would buy stuff, but he wasn't there. And also, he cheated on my mom a lot. Those of you who know me know that. So, you know, I just tried to, every day I try to learn something new or see something different. Try to be vulnerable. I try not to hold a lot of stuff in, especially if it's bothering me. Yeah, that's a big one. Because people have walked over me who I thought wouldn't, which sucks. Which has led to my name being in rooms I have never stepped foot in and will never step foot in. And unfortunately, a lot of times I'm a blank, blank, blank. I'm everything but a child of God when my name come up in those rooms. Now, luckily, again, other side of that coin is my name has come up in rooms that I'll never step foot in positive ways. And I would rather it be that way more often than not. So every day I try to grow spiritually, mentally, emotionally, you know. Not, I guess physically too, like I'm trying to slim down, but trying to, trying to go to the beach with my shirt off next year. You feel me? Yeah. Also professionally too. I'm technically in a new job. Like, I've worked in retail, I've worked in sales. Like, you're selling something to someone at Best Buy. You're selling memberships. You're selling credit cards. I was pretty good at that before I left. I was working at the bank. I'm selling you an account, basically. I'm selling you on a credit card. I think I was pretty good at that, but, whatever. So coming back, to come to Xfinity, it's kind of like the same thing, I'm not a rep to where I make commission on sales. I'm the door guy. But you come in, you give me your name, X, Y, and Z. Oh, you have a pickup. Okay, cool. Oh, you're a new internet customer with us. Dope. Thanks for picking Xfinity. By the way, what do you have for cell phone service? Insert name here. Oh, how much are you paying for, your cell phone service? $175. For how many lines? Just me. Well, just want to let you know, blah, 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 and go into the spiel. There's been more times than not where I have made it to where I've given them all the information and I've closed the sale and I've passed them to the rep, and it's been the easiest sale. One of the easiest sales. And it makes me feel good because I'm like, I'm helping. You know what I mean? But I have to grow that skill. So every day I'm learning and I'm asking questions on, hey, how did you repackage X, Y, and Z? So because in 4 months from now, when I apply for a promotion, one, I have the stories, but I already know what to do without even being in the role. You know what I mean? So growth is a big thing for me, especially at work. That was segment 2. No, wait. Hold on. Too fast. But after, it means responsibility, integrity, vulnerability, and growth. It also means being rooted enough to feel and strong enough to evolve. Because we're not meant to be the same person we are now, 10 years from now. I pray to God when I'm 38, I'm not the same person I am at 28. I want to evolve. I want to be a better person. I don't know. Again, I mentioned this in the last episode. I hope I'm married by then. You know what I mean? Even if I'm in a house paying rent, I want to be married by 38. If that's in God's plans, super dope. If not, it is what it is, my boy. But also, I got to, be strong enough to want to evolve. Like, I have to put in the time and the effort to evolve. And again, that goes professionally and personally and emotionally and mentally. So I would say keep that in mind, fellas. You have to be rooted enough to feel and strong enough to evolve. And guys, we're allowed to unlearn the BS that we were taught by our father and our uncles and our cousins and all that. Because a lot of us now, we're going to be those fathers, and it's, I don't know about y'all, but I want my kids to be like, all right, I can go to dad and cry. Like, it's all right. I don't know what to do. I don't know if I can go talk to him. My kids will always know that dad's door is always open. Always. I don't care. Even if they're mad at me for something, I want them to explain, like, hey, Dad, you made me feel this way because. I'd rather them explain to me, oh, this is how you made me feel, versus them sitting there feeling that they can't. Like, that's not fair to them. And that's not fair to me, because how do I evolve as a parent? It goes back to that last part. You get it. We locked in. How do I evolve as your father if I don't know what I'm doing wrong in that moment? So that's why I'm hoping Miracle And Nehemiah give me that grace of, you know, hey, Dad, you did this. But one thing, another lie that I feel like a lot of us need to, that we have the opportunity as parents to unlearn is saying I'm proud. Like as a kid, I don't know about you guys. As a kid, I didn't hear that enough. And like I played sports all my life, and I never heard that enough from my dad. And it hurt. But I seen a video of Macaulay Culkin, the Home Alone kid. Well, he was on Mythical Kitchen, and I seen it on TikTok. He's on Mythical Kitchen, and he was talking about being a father. Bro, he's married to Brenda Song. I don't know if y'all knew that, but yeah. Side note, bro, I got a fresh cut. I'm feeling myself. My bad. But yeah, he was talking about how his son was in a show in a little play, and he froze, and ran off stage, and he was crying. And Macaulay Culkin, big child actor, Home Alone 1, 2, and 3, and all these stuff. Never heard I'm proud of you. And that's the first thing he told his kid, like, hey, I'm proud of you for doing this. Like, I'm proud for, you going out here and doing that. That's the kind of father I want to be, is I'm proud of you for at least trying. So I feel like that's another thing we can unlearn as we do this thing called life, especially if we have kids. A lot of stuff that we went through, we can unlearn and do the opposite for our kids. You're allowed to redefine manhood for you. Segment 3, the new masculine. So what does it look like? It looks like crying without feeling ashamed. It looks like showing love without fear. It looks like apologizing, softening, healing, and holding space. I'm going to touch on all of these, but that first one is a big one for me. I don't hate it, because it's a human thing, and I've done it a lot, especially this year. But for me, like a long time, crying it made me feel like a wimp, like I was soft. Like, what am I crying for? And I'm not talking about, oh my God, my grandpa just died and I'm crying. Nah, bro, I mean, I'm sad and I don't know why, and I'm sad and I'm crying about it. Or just stuff like that. Or like, oh, I lost my job. Stuff that I felt like I had every reason to cry. Father's Day. I would cry on Father's Day. Now again, that's a big deal for me. Father's Day is a big deal. For a long time, it's because I only had one kid and I never saw her. And I would weep, and I would cry, and I would feel shame about it, because I'm like, hell are you crying for? Who said you could cry? Now when I cry, it's all right. We're feeling that emotion. It moved us to tears. Great. You're going to sit in that moment, you're going to cry, and you're not going to feel bad about it. I've earned the right to cry. As men, as a man, you have the right to cry. No matter big, small, happy, sad, cry. You got a promotion at work, cry. You got fired from work, cry. The love of your life left, you better fucking cry. Sorry. You met the love of your life, you better cry. You had your first kid. Please cry. And don't feel shame about it. Like, there's no shame in crying. Jim Valvano once said, and I might be butchering it, he's a great college coach. You know, there's three things you want to do. You want to laugh, you want to cry, and you want to think. You know, so if you can be moved to tears, whether happy or sad, if you can laugh, if you can think, you lived a full day. And I'm not saying cry every day, but hey, just know it's okay to cry. Next, show love without fear, bro. Like, that's one thing I enjoy. Like, I don't mind doing. I like doing it. You know, people need to be loved on, bro. I don't know, like, and it doesn't have to be people who you know. Obviously, you want to show love people you know, who you're involved with romantically, and so on and so forth, children, but loving yourself too. Like, go on that self date, go buy the thing, go do the thing. You've earned the right to love yourself out loud. And also show love to people. So Thursday, I was at work, and I, see this older lady, and as she's like walking across, I have an idea. She's either coming to Xfinity or coming to T-Mobile. Now, I'm guessing she can't get her foot up onto the curb, And I mean, the curb's like, maybe like that, but she's older. So I look and I'm just like, tell my boss, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go help that lady. And it's cold outside, and I just have my Xfinity Polo on, and I'm like, hey, where you heading? She was like, I didn't give a damn where she was going. If she was going to T-Mobile, I'd have walked her inside T-Mobile, Xfinity shirt on and all. But ironically enough, she was, coming to Xfinity. So I helped her up the curb, and I literally walk her inside. Like, she squeezed my hand and walked inside, and she did whatever, and then as she was leaving, I held the door for her and I walked her outside and made sure she could get down the stoop, and she walked to her car. So like, it doesn't hurt to show love to people. Like, it's simple. Also, fun. This just happened a couple hours ago. I've talked about him before. My guy Brendan, he was telling me a story about something that happened at a gas station, but he played the Powerball, and he was like, mind you, it's like for almost $2 billion. And he was like, hey man, if I win this money, you will never have to work in your life. Now, mind you, I'm not related to this man at all. I think we've only been friends for 2 years or so. So, hey, and I'm pretty sure he, $2 billion or whatever, but after tax or whatever, how many hundreds of millions of dollars, him being like, I'm going to take care of you. He doesn't have to do that. That man is married. He could do whatever. He can take care of his parents, his wife, whatever. Other friends, like, that he's had longer than me. So it doesn't, like, that's what I mean. Like, showing love to people who are in your corner, it's free. And lastly, like I said before, You know, what does being man enough look like today? It's apologizing and being soft and healed and holding space. You know, no one's ever going to be 100% healed, but you're actively trying to be better than you were the day before. Simple. This might be a short episode, guys. We're at 40 minutes. Yeah, so in closing, if no one ever told you this, fellas, you are man enough as you are right now. I am so damn glad you are here another day. If no one's told you that, I am happy you are here. And you are man enough just the way you are. Not because of how much you achieved, but because of how much stuff you have gone through, that you have battled publicly or to yourself. And you did not give up. You are still here, my boy. I'm so damn proud of you. And I'm in your corner. So, next time, we're going to be getting into friendships and isolation. Why so many men feel alone and how to rebuild brotherhood. Until then, breathe easy. Be kind to yourself and someone else. You're not failing. You're just becoming the man who you're supposed to be. Have a great week.